right at the top?
Yep.
Somebody else pick a good one, all right? Because fine, look through all of it before you start hollering out. Shut up! Is that the first time all year long you've heard me scream because I was mad? Look through it and try to pick out problems that you know you're going to have trouble with. 14 on the first page. If lengths of two sides of a triangle are 24. And I'm upset because you guys don't pay attention, you don't listen. Do we need to do this problem? We just got done doing like 10 of these. Should you be able to do this yourself? Yes. But let's do it real quick since you picked it. The third side should be between what and what?
29 and 40.
No. Maybe we do need to do it. How do you find the low end?
Minus them both.
Minus them. What do you get?
5.
5. How do you find the high end? Add them. What do you get? 53. Next question.
For 5 on 5-1, number 2, find x and RT of
On this?
S. Yeah.
So on the back side?
Right here, the single sheet.
That one?
Yes.
So on number 2, right here, hopefully you can find it if I draw the picture. Number 2 on the single sheet, it looks something like this. ST.
U is in the middle.
And they tell us that
2
SU is a median. As soon as you hear that that's a median, what should you know?
midpoint.
Midpoint, that's U. What else? What do you know about these two segments?
The same.
They're the same.
Right angles.
They tell us, no, not the right angles, they're the same, right? Altitude tells us right angles, median tells us congruent segments. They tell us that this is 2x plus 24. This is 5x minus 30. What equation can I set up then? What I know, what do we say about these two? They're congruent. So 2x plus 24 should equal what?
5x.
Is everybody watching? Because I guarantee there's a problem like this on the test. That's why I copied that extra paper. Subtract 2x on both sides, you get 3x minus 30 equals 24. Add 30 to both sides. 3x equals 54. Somebody have a calculator out and help me. 18? What'd they ask us to find?
Find x, that's it.
Find x, so that's our answer. X equals 18. Again, as soon as you read the word median, told you that those segments were congruent to each other.
I don't understand. What's the difference between, I guess the difference between perpendicular bisectors and altitude? Like, I don't know why.
Altitude goes from a vertex to the opposite side and always forms a right angle. Remember, a perpendicular bisector could be anything like this. If I have this triangle and I want the perpendicular bisector of this side, maybe it's right there, it's just some random line that goes through there. And altitude for this triangle from that point would go
They have to do that.
straight down there and form a right angle. So altitude always starts at a vertex, goes to the opposite side. Perpendicular bisector has to go through the midpoint and form right angles. So altitude goes with right angles. Perpendicular bisector goes with right angles and congruent segments. The way I remember it, perpendicular bisector is like you took a median and an altitude and you mated them. That's what you would get. That's what their kid would be. Perpendicular bisector, because it would have the traits of both of them. Your assignment on this packet, any 35 problems, I would highly suggest that you do more than that.
Is there a
I had, who was it? Somebody's in here yesterday. Well, I got 18 done, I only got 12 more to go. Well, there's 35 problems on here. Not 18, I don't know what they said. But there's 35 problems on here that you could do that you wouldn't even have to put any thought into. Is that going to help you on this test?
No.
No. Study. I'm telling you to study, because if you don't know those, Dustin's thinking that all those orange things are going to be hanging there by his head when it comes test time. They will not be there. So you got to know centroid goes with medians. Orthocenter goes with altitudes. So on and so on.
Look at this, Mr. Eversole. Look at me.
Yep. Put these in. Number 6 on the first page. Write a compound inequality. Triangle looks like this. 50 degrees. This is x. So we want to know x is between what and what? We know that x has to be, the theorem that we had said that this exterior angle has to be bigger than either one of the two remote interior angles, right? Well, we know one of them, so we know x has to be bigger than what? What's going to go down here? What's the biggest it could go up to?
180.
That's it. Next question.
All right, that makes sense then.
Do we have any idea what x actually is? No, but we know it's between those two. So could it be 40?
No.
No, won't work. Could it be 190? No. Give me a problem. Number 1 where? Number 1 right there? Number 1 on this right here. On the separate sheet. Number 1 looks like this. I know mine doesn't look exactly like theirs. You just have to go with it because I'm not going to redo it. They tell us that EG is a median. As soon as you hear that that's a median, what do you think of? Congruent segments. These two segments right here have to be congruent. This is 5x minus 17. This one is 3x. Oops. 3x plus 1. What equation can I set up? Say it one more time. I heard a bunch of
5x minus 17 equals 3x plus 1.
5x minus 17 equals 3x plus 1. Solve that, you end up with 2x equals 18. I'm solving it real quick because I want to try to hurry and get more problems done for you. X equals 9. What did they ask us to find? Find the x. They just asked find x, right? That's it. On that same page? You sure? Because it's the same kind of problem. What's the key word there? Median. What equation do I set up on number 2?
Same thing we just did.
Same thing you just did. So tell me the equation so everybody can hear it.
2x plus 24 equals
2x plus 24 equals 5x minus 30. Do you still want me to do it? All right. Give me another one. Number 3. What do they tell us in number 3? It's an angle bisector. So give me a second to draw number 3 up here. Triangle looks something like this. You got an angle bisector. They draw these in, it forms a right angle there. Draw that in, it forms a right angle there. What do you know about those two segments if this is an angle bisector? These are congruent to each other. So what equation can you set up? 2x plus 6 equals 4x minus 1. Solve that, you end up with 2x on that side equals 7. What's x equal? 3.5, 3.5. Give me another one. Number 4. Give us some triangle looks like this. Tell us that this angle right here is 3x plus 3. These are the ones I'm going to put on the test and you'll be lost. Yes? Yes? Sure. Watch this, Julie, before you go. We only got a couple minutes, let's just wait. Unless you're in a hurry to get in there.
I've got a question. Where'd you get 5x minus 7?
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong problem. X minus 9, right? They tell us that this segment right here, HK, watch. HK is a what? Altitude. As soon as you hear altitude, what should you think of? 90-degree angles. So this comes down here and it forms what? 90-degree angle. So what equation can I set up?
3x plus 3 equals 90.
3x plus 3 equals 90. I guarantee a lot of you that aren't paying attention right now, like Malachi over here, when he gets this on the test, he does a problem like the ones that we just were doing. What's he going to set up?
I was so good.
X plus 8 equals x minus 9. Is that going to work on this problem? No. I know you were paying attention, Malachi. First time in your life. Divide by 3. How many 3's are there in 8? 2. That's 6. With 2 left over, how many 3's in 27? 9. X equals 29. Give me another one.
5, 6, and 7.
This deals with what theorem? The median theorem, right? Actually, it's called the centroid theorem. So watch carefully on this because we can do all these. My triangle doesn't look right, but you'll just have to live with it. M, N, L. If this is the centroid, and I know that this part right here is 2z, and this is 2.8. So this is 2z, that's 2.8. What do I know about how this part relates to this part? Watch carefully. This one should be half, right? This should be half of this one. What is half of 2.8? So 2z should equal what? Please make sure you can do that. That's not real hard.
Divide by 2.
So what's z? 0.7. Let's see, x. They tell us this is x. This is 2. What's x going to be? That should be pretty easy. 4. This part should be double what that part is, right? That one's pretty easy to do. Then they tell us this is y plus 1. And this one over here is 3.6. Is that y plus 1 going to equal 3.6? No, it equals half of it. Right? What's half of 3.6?
1.3.
What is it? 1.8. So y plus 1 should equal 1.8. Make sure you can do that. Lots of different ways you can set this up. Subtract 1. Pins only work about half the time. What's y equal? 0.8. I think we found all of them, didn't we? Your assignment is any 35 problems off this. If it helps you, stick this right inside there. Any 35 problems. Don't forget, there's another quiz on Moodle you have to do. So there's 2 of them now. That bonus packet will be due day of the test. Chapter 5 test next time. Review packets also due next time. Go ahead. You will?
I will.
I don't think you will unless I... Just like tell me which page you're on, 3rd page, 4th page, a separate page, and give me a number. Which one, somebody say?
Someone said second page number 1.
Second page, number 1.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Second page, number 1. What's that, the one right in the middle?
The perpendicular.
All right, so number 1. Oops, don't want to do that. Didn't do any good. They give us this picture. You're going to have to bear with me and let me draw this picture real quick. That's I, N, G. We have something that goes through here like this. It's got an M right there, L right here. It's supposed to be a right angle. We know that these 2 are congruent. It's got another segment that runs like over here. That's a right angle. It's got something that runs up through here. These 2 are congruent to each other. We got something else that comes down to here. That's a K. This is congruent to each other. Is that everything? J's up here. Does everybody see all that? So we want the one segment that's a perpendicular bisector. So we're looking for something, number one, if you're looking for a perpendicular bisector, that's the one, sort of the oddball, right? Instead of a segment, it's a lot of times shown as a what? Line. Do you see a line in this picture? Yeah. Which one? ML. Is ML a perpendicular bisector? Does it split that segment right there up into two congruent segments and form a right angle with it?
Yeah.
So that's what we write down. Line ML. Next question.
Does a perpendicular bisector not have to be one?
It doesn't have to be, but normally, I can't show a line up here, right? I'd have to, I guess I could have if I was creative, but I'm not, so. Give me another one.
Page 392.
Top two or bottom two?
Bottom two.
Bottom two? Page 3, number 2 at the bottom. Looks like this. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Goes through there. My picture's drawn terribly, but this is D. Runs up here, something like that. C, that's B. A's out here. It's supposed to go through that point right there, but it doesn't. This is x plus 1. That's 2x minus 7. This is 2x minus 3. And this is x plus 5. Did I miss anything? The perimeter of ABCD. That's this right here. This little Star Trek symbol looking thing. The perimeter of that's 44. So could I set up an equation? What's perimeter mean?
All the.
Add up all the sides. It should equal 44, right? Help me out. Let's not write out this whole equation because it's too long. How many x's do we have? 6 x's. And then we got 1 and negative 3. What's that give us? Negative 2 and 5. 3 and negative 7. Can we solve that? Add 4. Somebody be ready to divide for me. Divide 48 by 6, what do you get?
8.
So we know that x is 8. So how long is this side over here that was x plus 5? 8 plus 5 is 13. 2 times 8? 16 minus 3? 13. What do you know about those two segments then? They were congruent to each other. 8 plus 1? 9. 2 times 8? 16 minus 7? 9. What do you know about those two segments? They're congruent. The theorem that we were talking about a second ago on the perpendicular bisector, remember if a point falls, I had one of you come up here and draw it. If a point falls on the perpendicular bisector of a segment, then you know it's the same distance from one endpoint as it is the other, right? Well, the converse of that says if 2 points make a line and they're the same distance from the 2 endpoints, then guess what you know about that line right there? It is the what? Perpendicular bisector. So that's what you'd say there. It's the perpendicular bisector of it. Give me the next one. I probably wouldn't put anything quite that difficult because I didn't really talk a whole lot about the converse of the theorem. But you do need to know if a point falls on the perpendicular bisector, it's the same distance from there as it is to there. Give me another one. Number 2 on the second page. Same kind. You want me to do it still? Sort of the exact same thing. So what ends up happening on number 2, those two end up being congruent, those two end up being congruent. Then you know that this right here, this line going up and down is the what? Perpendicular bisector. Give me another one. So that was number 2 on the second page. If you just, same as the last problem we did, you know that segment, whatever it was, where I lost it. Segment RS is the perpendicular bisector of whatever the other one is. However it said. Yeah, RS is the perpendicular bisector of segment PQ. Give me another one. No others? You don't want me to do any of your homework for you. Everybody's just sitting here not even asking.
Number 7 on page 2.
Number 7 on the second page. Name the shortest and longest segments. I'm just going to draw this triangle first. That's 53. That's 64. That's, what, 63? W, X, V. Which one's the shortest in that triangle? Which side?
53, or, XB.
So that's the shortest. We'll just put an S there. Which one's the longest? WB. Now, if I do the other triangle, it's over here. Something like this. That's 72. This is X. This is V. This is Y. 72, 55, and 53. Which one's the shortest in that one? VY. Which one's the longest in that one? Now watch, because we can sort of compare these two triangles. If this is the longest side in this triangle, and it's the shortest side in that triangle, so if this was 10, it's going to be 10 over here. What do you know about this side over here? It's still going to be longer than that, right? So what has to be the longest in all of this? Which segment has to be the longest out of all of them? WB. The shortest would have to be this one over here that was the shortest in this smaller triangle, which was VY. On this, again, don't forget to do the quiz on Moodle, 2 of them. On this, any 35 problems out of all that. Try to do the ones, we did a lot of the ones that you actually had to answer questions. Try to do the ones that have math involved, because that's what's on the test. Some of them, I shouldn't say all of them. Have a good night.
I'm going in for 20.
I'm just going to...
So I'm just, my bag's coming over, so I'm just going to grab that and just...
just punk out and say Chris is going to work.
I didn't after we went over it.
Huh?
I didn't after we went over it.
Alright. I can't believe you'd ever say it.
Just allow it.
Why would you ever say
Because
that?
I don't like not knowing stuff.
Michael! Tomorrow during intervention, where are you going to be? Here. Thank you, Michael. Have a nice night. Why don't we? Tomorrow's Wednesday. OGT Thursday.
What are you doing? I gotta get my work for the rest
Tomorrow's
of the week
Wednesday.
next. Good luck. What are you doing? Hey, hold on just a minute.
I'm going to my truck. I'll see you out there.
Alright.
Where are you going?
Hey, Melton. I have to check that out, but otherwise, here, right? Hey, if not, Michael, if not, whichever, it doesn't matter, because I have you after Thursday's intervention anyway. So either tomorrow intervention or Thursday intervention. One thing. It's all off when you go in or something. He'll be there. Everything else that you're going to do. He's there.
Oh, I know. I will.
Well, hold on, maybe not, because I make them in on Friday.
Said him and Brent.
So I make them in on Friday. Well,
Let's see.
there's gonna be 3 quizzes on Moodle. 2 of them I told you about today. There's gonna be another one that's on this week. That. No. Oh, come on.
I meant like our last one. You get to do 25.
Oh, no. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you were wanting words to fill in the blanks with the choose. There'll be a page. I didn't write down the page, so there'll be a page.
Got him yet, Tristan?
I'm trying to think if there's any. Just look on Moodle for next week. It'll be, you know how to navigate Moodle with my thing, right?
This is something hilarious. Check this out. This is Grant, so at 8th grade football. You know how everybody looks at the camera, but he's the only one looking off his face. He still does it. That's hilarious.
Do I have to stay?
Yes. Why would you not?
I don't know. But Wade's not here, so.
That's because he was absent.
Yeah. Yeah, I doubt